Welcome back to all my fellow traders. Thank you to all the new subscribers on the channel. It means so much. If you're brand new here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button right now. It means that you will be locked into any new videos I drop, which is normally on a weekly basis, all right, providing you lots of entertainment, but more importantly, education in the trading space, especially for those trading futures. So this video today, we're going to talk about Apex. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, there have been some notable changes at Apex, which I went over in a previous video, teaching you how you need to change your systems to trade effectively with Apex. Now, that's something I've done. I'm enjoying it a lot, and I'm actually hitting far more profit than I was before. Simple changes, I'll drop that video underneath. If you haven't watched it, give it a watch. But this video right here is going to talk about some of the issues that we've experienced with Apex the last few weeks, why they've happened, and what we can expect in the future. Now, you might be one of those traders extremely frustrated from the last few weeks' price action with Apex, where we've had numerous issues with Rhythmic and some issues with TradeVate. Those issues included ghost orders, it included not being able to open trades, not being able to close trades effectively, having your orders flip without you asking, just complete madness. It was madness. I'm not going to lie, I was one of those people affected. Fortunately for me, most of the time I was in profit on my account, so all it meant is I probably didn't make as much as I would have liked, but I was very lucky to be one of those traders. Lots of people had their accounts blown up, but there is a but here. Apex did repair all those accounts for everyone. They took responsibility. Yes, I agree. It might have taken a little long for them to really notify all the consumers about this. And maybe that's caused some trust issues for you, which I totally understand. But what I would say, Daryl has come out, all right? He has said the whys to why this has happened, and he has fixed it. So you should have all your accounts without any damage done. So what we need to talk about now is why this has happened. The main reason any of these issues happen with the data providers is simply because of the exponential growth that Apex is having. More and more users are on the platform, more and more scaling up to multiple accounts, which means more and more trades going through every millisecond, which needs to be processed instantly by the servers to the data providers with Rhythmic and back again. And with that, you get massive clogs, all right? So Apex now has its own server, and with that came more teething issues to make sure that server was up to date, was running smoothly. So we had a 5-day period where it was definitely very janky, but we're through that period now, and Apex isn't alone when this happens, right? Many other prop firms went through this last year. Many broker houses go through this all the time, right? From my time of trading small caps and large caps, there were countless days where I'd be screaming at my screen because trade zero had gone down and I couldn't get in or out of a trade. So what's the answer to that? For me back then, it was very simple, right? I opened an account with Centerpoint while I had my trade zero account, and sometimes I even had an account with IB. It means I'm spreading my risks. If one's down, I can take a trade in another account. So if you are worried about that with Apex, it's really simple, isn't it? Open up an account with another prop firm or put your own money into a broker house where you can trade without any rules at all. Just make sure you put enough money in so you can trade without any of the rules like the overnight margin. So you're going to make sure you have enough money in there so you're likely to be trading micro contracts unless you're really funding that account with 6 figures. What does that mean? It means you can trade that micro overnight. You can hold swing positions. So instead of that NQ, which is moving 200 points a day, over the space of a week or a month, you might be able to get a 1,000-point move, which still is very nice profit for a very small account. All right, so hedge your bet if you are worried, but just stick with Apex. It's going through, or it has gone through the teething issues because it's been successful, right? Just remember that with growth comes teething issues, all right? We're through it now. I'm expecting a very good service for the remainder of the year. And it's quite clear that Apex is the best prop firm in the space because it's paid out the most, all right? And that's all we really care about as traders. I assure you in the next 10 days in this current window, this figure over here is going to get over $200 million in payouts. And hopefully you are going to be one of those traders. I certainly am going to be one of those traders as I'm applying to remove some of my money from my first 10 accounts in the next week. Okay, I'm well over the threshold, so I'm going to take that money out. What we can also say about Apex is it has changed some of the rules. Now, I did a very detailed video on that. If you want to check that out, I'm going to post the link underneath in the description. I teach you how you can change a very simple system that you're probably currently doing if you follow me to make sure you stay within the rules and stay profitable and eligible for payouts. So coming down into here, why is Apex still the number one? Very simply, you will keep the first 100% of the first $25,000 per account. So if you're trading 10 accounts, that's $250,000. If you're trading 20 accounts, that's $500,000 before Apex get anything back. You can have 2 payouts a month currently, all right? You can trade full size contracts in your evaluation or in your professional funded accounts with no scaling plan. So what does that mean? On a 50K, you can take 100 micros out or 10 minis from the get-go, all right? No using these 1 or 2 and building that cushion. You can really attack it if that is your style. You have no daily drawdowns, just a max loss limit. You can trade holidays. You can trade your normal day-to-day system or strategy, even during the news. There is no total cap on the maximum payout. So you can't just withdraw 50% each month. Once you get past that minimum draw out for 5 payouts, you can withdraw the full 100% of your profit out. It's a one-step evaluation, and most of the time now in the sale, it is a one-day evaluation. You have real-time data. You have very simple risk management rules, which I go over in that video in the description, and you can still trade up to 20 accounts. What it also doesn't say here, it is the cheapest, right? It's the cheapest out there by far. There's always a sale on, and if you didn't know, I will always post a link down below with my code that will always provide you the best possible discount for you to start trading with Apex. So it's very, very cheap. It's very effective. It's very easy for you to scale up to 5 to 10 to 15 to 20 accounts and start making numerous withdrawals, right? You're not limited to 3 accounts, 5 accounts, etc., like some of these other firms. So it still provides you a huge opportunity to withdraw great money, right, from the markets. And that is our job as traders. It starts there and it ends there, all right? Forget all the social media bashing. It's all about withdrawing money. And if you want proof of this, I'm withdrawing over the next couple of weeks. All the big traders out there, the PWs, the Trade by Mats, all these guys are withdrawing money again. Yes, they might have had one 10-day period where they had to adjust to these new rules, but now they're withdrawing money again. Matt, I think, is well over $250,000 already this year, looking on track to do $1 million, looking really good. So just don't believe all the BS out there, right? Just stick with the system. Teething issues happen. Stick with it. They've made it right. Everything's going to be fine. There's absolutely no reason to panic. But what I also want to talk about is the possible good changes coming from Apex over the next few months. All right. The first one of those is likely to be the 30% rule. If you didn't know, the 30% rule simply means you cannot have one trading day which is worth more than 30% of the profit in your account. So if you're on a 50K account and you're currently in $53,000 of profit, one day cannot be worth more than $1,000 profit. But what they're likely to do is change that to a 40% rule, right? Which means if you're in a trade, if you're following that trend, if it's looking really good, you can leave it on that little bit longer, lock in some bigger gains. Also, what they're likely to change is the withdrawal process, right? They're going to change it so that when you are in the money and you have traded your minimum amount of days, you don't have to wait for a window. You can withdraw instantly as long as you have traded the minimum amount of days. And they're also likely to change that. That's going to move from 10 days to 8 days. Fantastic. Removing the flipping rule where you just have to flip accounts, right? 8-day window. Nice and easy, all right? If you trade the 8 days, you don't have to be profitable all 8 days. You just need to trade them. And they're going to remove the flipping rule. The flipping rule is currently that for a 10-day period, you can flip the accounts, put trade on instantly off for 2 days. That's going to be removed altogether. So let's say you trade 4 or 5 days in a row. You can flip the next 4 or 5 if you need to withdraw the money, as long as you're not above that 40% rule. So lots of great changes on the horizon for Apex. So there's no reason for you to panic, all right? I myself was one of those guys. I had a panic. I was wondering what was going on. And I just thought about it. In all my years of doing this, I've seen it countless times with countless data providers, countless brokerage houses, and countless prop firms. with good growth comes teething issues. Stick with the plan, stick with the process, stay profitable, use your hard stops, lock in your profit. Everything's going to be all right. Be back real soon for a very, very good educational video, which I think will help a lot of you traders out there. Until next time, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe. I'll see you real soon.